Today I'm going to share with you some truly incredible animal rescue stories. Tales filled with hope, mystery, and heartwarming moments that will leave you amazed and inspired. Story 1. The Mysterious Cat in the Shadows. Late one night, a faint meowing echoed from an abandoned alley. No one knew where it came from, or what kind of cat could survive in such a cold, dark place. When rescuers arrived, they found a tiny kitten, covered in dust and barely breathing. What happened next was nothing short of a miracle. The kitten, whom they named Shadow, slowly regained strength. But the mystery remained: how did Shadow survive alone all this time? Was it luck or something more? Today, Shadow is a symbol of resilience, living happily in a loving home. Story 2. Max, the dog who defied the odds. Max's story begins on a rainy night when a passerby noticed a trembling figure near a highway. It was a dog, thin, dirty, and with a deep scar across his leg. Nobody knew how he got there or why he was left alone. But Max didn't give up. With every vet visit and every bandage, he fought to live. What's astonishing is that Max formed an unbreakable bond with the woman who rescued him, almost as if he knew she was his last chance. Now Max runs free in his new home, a living testament to hope and trust. Story 3. The sea turtle's silent cry for help. Imagine a sea turtle drifting silently, trapped in a net abandoned by fishermen. For days, no one saw her struggle, until a fisherman, drawn by something strange in the water, pulled her free. Her injuries were severe, and it seemed unlikely she would survive. But with care, patience, and countless hours of rehabilitation, she healed. The question remains: how many more creatures like her are out there, silently suffering? Her release back into the ocean was a moment filled with both joy and a silent plea to protect our seas. Story 4. The Eagle's Flight. Back from darkness. In a remote forest, an eagle was found grounded, its wing badly damaged and its spirit broken. No one knew if it would ever fly again. But the forest rangers never gave up. They nursed the eagle back to health day after day, watching closely as it grew stronger. One crisp morning, against all odds, the eagle soared into the sky. Its flight was not just a return to freedom. It was a message of perseverance against all obstacles. Story 5. Lily's Leap of Faith. Lily was an old horse living in harsh condition, forgotten on a rundown farm. Rescuers arrived just in time to save her from a fate no one dared to imagine. Her rehabilitation was slow and uncertain, but every day she took a little more strength, a little more hope. The moment she finally galloped in an open field again was like witnessing a miracle. Lily's story reminds us that no matter how dark the past, there's always a chance for a new beginning. Story 6. The Brave Little Sparrow. Caught in a storm, a tiny sparrow fell from its nest, fragile and scared. A young boy found her and decided to help. He watched over her, feeding her and teaching her to fly. Day by day, the sparrow grew stronger, and finally, she took off into the sky. It was a small act of kindness, but one that changed 2 lives forever. Story 7. The Unlikely Friendship Between Cat and Dog. In a world where cats and dogs are often seen as rivals, these two found something rare: true friendship. Abandoned together, they clung to each other for warmth and comfort. Rescuers thought they'd have to separate them, but the two refused to be apart. Now they live together in a happy home, proving that love knows no boundaries. Story 8. The Bear Who Learned to Trust Again An injured bear, terrified and alone, was rescued and brought to a wildlife sanctuary. At first, she kept her distance, scared of every human approach. But over time, a bond formed, a silent understanding. This bear's journey from fear to trust is a reminder that healing takes time. And sometimes it starts with just one gentle touch. Story 9. The Street Cat. Bonchook's incredible transformation. Bonchook was once a street cat, scruffy, hungry, and cautious of everyone. One day, a kind stranger saw beyond her rough exterior and decided to help. With love and care, Bonchook transformed into a confident, playful cat. Her story is proof that every creature deserves a second chance. Story 10. The Rabbit, who refused to give up, rescued from a cruel situation. This little rabbit's road to recovery was long and filled with challenges. But through it all, she showed incredible courage. Her new family calls her a survivor and a fighter, a living example of the power of compassion. Each of these stories is a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, life finds a way. Animals don't just survive, they inspire us to be better, to care deeper, and to act with kindness. If these stories touched your heart, remember that every small act of rescue and love can change a life forever. Thank you for joining me today. Stay kind, stay hopeful, and never underestimate the power of a heart willing to help.